Isekai.
The Rebirth of the Malicious Empress of Military Lineage. Chapter 54, Scheme. In the horse carriage on the way back to the Shen residence, Shen Miao sat alone in a carriage as before. Gu Yu, and Gings who were beside her, were all worried for her. That Prince Yu's evil reputation was well known to the people of Mingqi, and he just gave Shen Miao an invitation. Not to say that it was inappropriate for Shen Miao, a young lady, to head over. One could see what kind of idea Prince Yu was playing at. If it was Shenzhen, he would have refused it at the risk of his life. But, at the moment, Shenzhen was not in the city, and the two daughters-in-law of the Shen family had sinister motives. Previously, Shen Miao was young, but, now that she had reached marriageable age, naturally, that idea was planted in her head. Jings endured, and tolerated, but, finally could not help, but said, "Young lady, that Prince Yu. What can be done on today's matter? How about getting someone to write a letter to Master? If Master were to know of the matter, he will definitely rush back." Yes. Gu Yu was also deeply worried, and sick in her heart. That person does not have a good purpose in coming, and currently the inner courtyard is still. Moreover, today young lady was the limelight. One is afraid that there would be a number of troubles encountered in the residence. She sighed. At Shen Miao's young age, she would not be able to see clearly, but it was different for Gu Yu and Gings, as they were specially picked by Shen Furen. The second and third household were clearly jealous of the resounding name of the first household, and thus would secretly trip Shen Miao. With the narrow-minded hearts of the two households, and with Shen Miao's limelight today, they were afraid that she would be an eyesore to them. There was nothing fearful about other matters, but, if Prince Yu was linked into it, with his devious mind, it would be difficult for Shen Miao to handle all this. After all, the people in the first household were already mostly switched by the two other households. Shen Miao lightly said, "What is there to be afraid of? What idea he is playing with, would have to depend if he has that ability." She was calm, and composed, but, the words she spoke were faintly imposing, with a difficult-to-detect trace of viciousness. Gu Yu and Gings looked at one another. They did not know what was going on, but, the panic that they felt dissipated a little, and they gradually calmed down. Upon returning to the Shen residence, Shen Miao said that she was tired today, and needed to rest, thus she would return first to the west courtyard. Ren Wanyan and Chen Rikayu smiled, and said some things to Shen Miao, and instructed her to rest well. Perhaps after they knew that it was not good for Shen Miao that Prince Yu had now his sights on her, both of their smiles were unable to conceal the joy of her misfortune. Ren Wanyan even pats on Shen Miao's head, and lovingly said, seeing that fifth lady had reached such an age, and could be so moving and loving. Not too much time later, you should be married off already. Yes. Chen Rikayu echoed meaningfully. Our little five kind of young lady is only compatible to match with nobility. Ordinary people would not be able to marry our little five. A trace of happiness flashed on Shen Yu's face, and Shen King was unable to hold herself back, and said, "That is of course. Fifth younger sister would definitely get a noble husband." Finishing, she covered her mouth as she snickered, using a look of understanding on Shen Miao as she laughed. But, even with such a suggestive gaze, Shen Miao's expression did not even waver a bit. Shen King's smile stiffened. The more Shen Miao was as plain as the clouds, and light as the wind, the angrier her heart became. Today, Prince Yu of the first rank sent the invitation to everyone, but they are all well aware that he was interested in Shen Miao. However, Shen Miao was not the least emotionally moved, Most likely she did not know the serious implication of it. There was a trace of ridicule in her eyes. She was indeed a stupid fool. Shen and older sister have spoken. Shen Miao said without additional comments, talking about age. Eldest sister and second older sister are older than me a little. As for finding a husband, naturally, it would not be me first. The few people's expression paused before Ren Wanyan smiled. This child. It is because eldest Bo is not in the capital most of the time. Shen's heartache for you, and as for eldest lady and second lady, both me and your third Shen are still in the Ding capital. Naturally, there is no need to worry, is it? Shen Miao lightly questioned rhetorically. There was no expression in that pair of clear eyes, but it made one's heart tremble. It was as if when that pair of eyes gaze, whatever intent in one's heart would be disclosed. She smiled lightly, since it's Shen's who worry this much about me. In the future, I would have to return a couple. She mentioned it casually, but, for unknown reasons, Ren Wanyan and Chen Rizayu felt a flash of uneasiness in their hearts. But, they tossed this absurd idea to the back of their minds, as even though Shen Miao was much clever than before, she was still a 14-year-old girl. How big a wave can she create? Moreover, thinking about the matter of Prince Yu, both of them were pleased with themselves. What is fifth lady polite for? We are all a family. Ren Wanyan laughed. Since you are tired, then head back to rest first. Your second Shen and I still have matters to do. Gu Yu, Jings, take good care of fifth young lady. Gu Yu and Jings complied, and followed Shen Miao out. After they left, Ren Wanyan and Chen Rikayu looked at one another, and they saw one another's schemes. After half an incense stick, 1 incense stick equals 30 minutes. The old Shen Furan of Rongjing Tang frowned. You all are saying that Prince Yu has taken a liking to fifth girl? Shen Yu and Shen King were banished to the inner chambers, as they were young ladies who cannot participate in these matters. Even so, both of them still went up to the folding screen secretly, regardless of Zhang Mama's discouragement to eavesdrop on the conversation inside. Exactly. Ren Wanyan's face was full of smiles, but her words were pompous. Fifth girl's results were so impressive in today's academy examinations that it made Prince Yu have a whole new level of respect for her. Since an invitation was sent, it must mean that there is an intention to obtain fifth girl. This daughter-in-law sees that our Shen residents may be able to produce a Wang Fei. When Chen Rikayu heard it, her mouth was pulled back a bit. This Ren Wanyan said it so high-sounding, but that Prince Yu's interest in Shen Miao did not mean that she would be married officially. Even if she would be married officially, with Shen Miao's life, no one knew how many days she could survive. One was afraid that she could only be a Wang Fei for a few days before the fragrance diminished, and the jade perished. After all, that Prince Yu's infamous reputation was something that everyone in Ding capital knew. Hearing this, old Shen Furan's expression instead dropped a little, as in her heart, she naturally did not want the first household to do well. On what basis did that dead person's son be more outstanding than hers? Previously, when old General Shen was alive, he was biased towards the first household, and now that the first household would produce a Wang Fei, this made her feel unhappy. She remarked at once, how could fifth girl be a Wang Fei with her temperament? Eldest girl or second girl are still good enough. Old Shen Furan spends all year around in the inner courtyard, and only knew how to enjoy it. Thus, she was ignorant of the matters outside. Hearing her words, Chen Rikayu's and Ren Wanyan's expression changed uniformly. Shen Yu and Shen King, who were hiding behind the folding screen, jumped in shock as both of them knew, even though old Shen Furen did not know. Once entering the residence of Prince Yu, there was only the circumstance of being tortured till death, and it was a hellish fire pit. Ren Wanyun quickly spoke, "Mother, it is not like this. We naturally wish fifth girl, this young lady. Well, even though His Highness Prince Yu of the first rank is a widower, age-wise he is somewhat older, and his reputation is not very good, but his family is good." She thought about something, and her lips raised. In the future, when seventh son grows up, it would be extremely good to have His Highness Prince Yu's care and guidance. If fifth daughter encounters any mishap, His Highness Prince Yu would compensate, and take greater care of seventh son. To use Shen Miao's life in exchange for Shen Yuanbo's future, Chen Rikayu looked at her second sister-in-law. It was truly a good scheme.